Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sunita Daya and I'm here again to discuss about one more practical which is going to come in your BCom Honors Business Mathematics syllabus, right? So earlier we have already discussed about the practical on matrices, and if you have not seen that particular practical earlier, how I have done that, so you can subscribe my channel, you can go through that particular practical. Now let's start with the another practical which we are going to do today is on linear programming you can say topic. So again, here as you see on the screen, you are given the problem statement, right? You have to maximize the profit P with the, you can say, equation which is given for it, 3x plus 2y minus z. And again in the question it is already been given that subject to the constraints, there will be different constraint given in the question. So here some constraints are given, like first one is your x plus 3y plus z less than equals to 9, 2x plus 3y minus z greater than equals to 2. Third one is 3x minus 2y plus z greater than equals to 5, x greater than equals to 0, y, z again greater than equals to 0. So like this you will be given some constraint. You have to just write it down first on your you can say left hand side of the Excel sheet, then on the right hand side we can go for the solution part, right? So what will be the solution for this problem? Okay, let's start. So one more important thing before we start with the question is that we are going to use solver of Excel to solve this problem. So what is solver, how to install that in your Excel, if it is not installed, that we will show you, right? And then we will give the solution to the problem, right? So here in the solution, first of all you have to write down the variables given to you in the questions, right? So variables, like what you want to find, we have to find the value of x, y, z at which you can maximize the p, right? So these variables you have to write it down. First step is to write down all the variables given in the question. So the variables given in the question are x, y and z. So at the initial stages, since we are not aware what is the value of it, we can write it down 0. So whatever the value will come will automatically enter in these three columns against x, y and z, right? So initially we are just taking them as 0. The second step is to write down the objective statement. So objective statement, again it is represented what you want to find out. You want to maximize p, so you want maximize p at the value of x, y and z. So that is your objective statement. So you have to write down here, you have to maximize p. In some question it could be the minimize statement, in some question it is maximize statement. So it is a problem of maximize p, right? Okay, so here we can write it down equals to. So we will see what is the maximize statement. It is given p equals to 3x plus 2y minus z, right? So how we are going to write down here? We will write 3 multiply x. So x is this, whatever the value is there at this place, that is your x. Then plus 2y, we will write 2 multiply y, y is this, then minus z, z is this value. Okay, so we have to write down the objective statement here. So we will enter initially the value which you will see here is 0. Here you can see the formula we have applied, right, based on this equation, right? Okay, we can highlight this second step also. Now comes the third step. The third step, we have to write down the constraints given in the question, right? So again we can highlight this part, constraint. So in constraint you will be making a table, right? So what table you are going to take is, in total how many constraints are there? 1 2, this is 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? So these are the 6 constraints given in the question. So we have to write it down here. We can give numbers here to specify how many constraints are there, right? So 6 constraints are there. You can select both them, scroll it down till 6, right? Okay, so 3 things you have to mention here. Left hand side, then your inequality given in the question, right? That is less than equals to, greater than equals to, you have to specify. Then the third thing you have to mention is your right hand side given in the question, right? Okay, so you can go for a broader cell here so that clearly it is mentioned. Okay, so what is left hand side? First, you can say constraint we will see. This is the first constraint, right? So what is the first constraint? X plus 3y minus plus z less than equals to 9. So we will write x. So x, where we have put, we will put first equals to, then select the x plus 3 multiply by y is this, and plus z is this. Clear? So then we will enter. Initially all the values which you will see here is 0. As we apply the solver here, then you will get the values. Less than equals to is your inequality given in the first constraint statement, and right hand side is, it is less than equals to 9. Okay, similarly we have to write it down for the second equation. Same process we will be following. Here the second constraint is 2x plus 3y minus z greater than equals to 2. So 2 multiply by x. X is this particular cell, whatever the value is there in this cell, then plus 3y, 3 multiply by y is this value, minus z, right? So this is the second constraint. Here the inequality mentioned in the question is greater than equals to, right? And right hand side is 2, right? So again we will be now going for the third constraint. Equals to 3 multiply by x minus 2 multiply by y plus z. Okay, so this is the statement. Again here the inequality is greater than equals to, and right hand side is 5. Now fourth constraint, that is x greater than equals to 0, so equals to x only, right? This is the left hand side here. Equals to x, you have to put enter, then you will go to the next row. Then greater than equals to, and right hand side is 0. Similarly y is equals to this particular thing, right? Enter it, and then it is greater than equals to 0. Third is equals to z, right? And then equals to z, enter, then constraint, put the constraint, inequality, greater than equals to 0. So this is how you are going to write down the 6 constraint given in the question. Once you write it down, right, so I can take it at the center also, right. Once you write it down, it will be easy for you to apply the solver, right. So first of all, after this, in some you can say Excel, you don't find the solver. Like here you find under the data, you find the solver here, right. But if it is not given, so how to install that immediately? So you have to go to file, you have to go to more options, more, click on options, this window will open. Here there is add-ins, you have to click on this, right. Here you will find add-ins, right, solver, you will click it, right, go, solver is already added, so it is ticked. If it is not ticked, you have to just tick it, okay. Then you will find a solver here, right, because this we are going to apply next, okay. Once you have written all the constraint, right, what is the next step? You have to click on data, right, from the top menu and go to the solver, okay. Objective cell must be a single cell on the active sheet. Okay, we will close it, okay. Okay, so what we are going to do is, this window will come, right. So some already values are there, you will open the solver, okay. So you have to set the things here, right, according to the problem statement, right. So first of all, you have to set the objective, right. So where is the objective value? And you have to select the cell where you want the objective. Objective is to maximize P, right. So you want the solution here, so you have to select this particular cell, right. Then second is you have to select maximize, minimize your value of. Then in our problem, the thing is given for the maximization, right. So you will be focusing on maximization. Then by changing variable cell, which cells you are going to specify here, right. You want the x, y and z values here, right. So you have to find it out, the variable cells you have to mention here, from this column this, so it will come select the complete array. So n number of variables are given in the question, you can take it easily, you can mention the similar way and you can find it out. So here variables you have to mention with the variable cells. Then you have to go to this particular thing. So these things you can remove if already given, right. So you can, so these things are already given by default, you have to remove it. This cell must be a single cell on the active sheet. You have to delete the entries. In some of the cases the entries are already deleted, it is not, it is given blank, right. So here since the Excel is showing these entries, you can delete it so that you can set your own constraint, right. Okay, so like this you will find your window, okay. So what next step is there? First set the objective cell is this, then specify maximum, then specify the changing variables x, y and z, right? We are not selecting x, y, z here. We will be selecting the resultant cell where you will find the result. The values will enter once we click on the solve option. Okay, now this here you have to, if something is already mentioned by default, you have to clear this, selecting it and deleting it, right? So now it is blank. You can add your constraint, right? So you have to add the constraint from this place, right? So you click on add, right? The first constraint is this. Here we have already selected the constraint. Then you have to select the less than equals to. It is already selected less than equals to. Then what is the right hand side? That is your value of constraint, right? Then click on add. It is already added, right? Then click on the first cell reference. Then now the symbol will change. It is greater than equals to what? 2, right? So here the value of the cell will be selected. Your address of the cell will be selected. Add it. Similarly, you have to add all the 6 constraints. This less than equals to greater than equals to 5. So you have to select the right hand side. Okay. Similarly, I have mentioned left hand side and right hand side so that you don't get confused. So left hand side is your cell reference and constraint is your right hand side value. Okay, now the fourth one we have to add this greater than equals to this. Okay, add, right? Once you click on OK, since we have added 4 of them, we will click on OK. Okay, next this, then greater than equals to, then we have to mention the constraint. This is the constraint. Add, then this greater than equals to, constraint is this. Okay, so once it has taken all the constraint, it will automatically close, right? So it has taken L15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, right? Less than equals to, greater than equals to, greater than equals to. Similarly, then N15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20, these cells were selected. Okay, now you will be clicking select a solving method. Which method you are going to apply? Since we have already aware the simplex LP we are studying in our syllabus, that we are going to apply here, and click on solve. Once you click on solve, okay, objective cell must be a formula, objective cell. Okay, so this okay, we have has not selected that, so we will click on keep solver solution. Okay, so now you find the solution is here. Once you click on solve, the values will automatically enter to the cell. Here the value after solving this equation 9, 0 and 0. So we will write down the answer. Right? What is the answer? We will have to write value of x equals to 9, y equals to 0 and z equals to 0, where profit get maximize and we get P equals to 27. Like this you can summarize this and you can solve it. So this is the only method how you are going to solve the problem. Okay,